In the long process of Chinese ancient architecture development, it formed its own unique architectural style. The system of Chinese ancient architecture is dominated by wood structures, which indicates the mainstream of materials used in Chinese ancient architecture. It also determined the development direction of its structure and technology. In the long-term architectural practice, Chinese ancient craftsmen have accumulated perfect methods and skills in material selection, structural design, component processing, joints and details treatment, and construction and installation, showing the unique charm of Chinese ancient architectural construction technology and art. Chinese ancient architecture is rich and diverse, with wooden frame architecture as the main body. Wooden frame architecture is convenient to obtain materials and has strong adaptability, with fast construction speed and easy maintenance or relocation. It also has strong earthquake resistance. Chinese ancient craftsmen have fully utilized the application of wood in traditional architecture, the manufacture and assembly of load-bearing architectural components, such as beams, columns, joists, and rafters are called carpentry works. The feature that Chinese ancient architecture is mainly based on wood structure determines that ancient architecture construction and maintenance cannot be separated from carpentry tools. Woodworking tools mainly include saws, axes, planes, chisels, hammers, and rulers. Although the tools are simple, they played an important role in the construction and maintenance of ancient buildings, reflecting the wisdom and creativity of ancient craftsmen. In order to standardize architectural design, production, and construction, the Song Dynasty's construction methods first named the basic dimensions of the wooden frame as kai, which divided the size of the wooden frame building materials into 8 grades, according to the size of the building. Once the kai is selected, the size of the wooden frame components is determined according to the standards set. This makes design and construction convenient, and supplies are estimated with a uniform standard. The roof is the outer protective structure at the top of the building, adding a certain weight to the roof truss, counteracting the influence of horizontal thrust, and making the building structure more stable. The roof forms of ancient Chinese buildings are based on the wren shape, and the main forms include the hip roof, the hip and gable roof, the gable roof, the hard roof, the pavilion roof, and the shed roof, which enrich the art of ancient building shapes. The hip roof is a 4-slope roof, commonly used in temple-style buildings. The hip and gable roof consists of the upper half of the hard roof or the gable roof, and the lower half of the hip roof. It is basically only allowed for official buildings. The gable roof is the roof on both sides of the building protrudes from the wall. The hard roof is the roof on both sides of the building does not protrude from the wall. The pavilion roof is conical, without a main ridge, with the top concentrated at a point, including round, square, triangular, octagonal, etc. forms. The hip roof is divided into 2 types, single and double eaves. The Longhu Hall in the Shaanxi Yongle Palace is a typical single-eave hip roof, while the Forbidden City has a double-eave hip roof. Shaanxi Yonglong Palace is the only well-preserved Yuan Dynasty official architectural complex. Sun Mao mortise and tenon refers to the connection between components in ancient architecture. The protruding parts are called sun tenon, and the concave parts are called Mao mortise. When the tenon is inserted into the hollow mortise, it can firmly connect the components together. The tight fittings of the tenon and mortise in different directions achieves a balance of forces and harmony between the components, thus greatly reducing and dissipating external forces to ensure the stability of the main structure of the building. Daogong is a unique structure of Chinese ancient architecture. It is usually used at the top of columns, the eaves beam, or between the beams of a structure. Daogong generally serves as a load-bearing structure that connects the upper and lower parts of a building, and also has the functions of earthquake resistance, decoration, and displaying the architectural level. The Du is the load-bearing square wooden block in the Daogong, which bears the weight in both horizontal and vertical directions. It has a cross-shaped tenon on top, hence its name from its resemblance to the old-fashioned measure for rice, Du. The gong is a rectangular section of short square wood, shaped slightly like a bow. Those parallel to the surface of the buildings are called gong, and there are sockets in the middle of them. In Qing Dynasty buildings with Daogong, the position and size of the components are based on the duku as the basic modulus, which is also used as the standard for measuring the scale of the building. The duku is the cross-shaped mortise on the seat of the Daogong. According to the position of the Daogong in the building, it is divided into inner eave Daogong and outer eave Daogong. The inner eave Daogong is located in the inner eave of the building. The outer eave Daogong is located in the outer eave of the building. Of these, the structure of the Jiaki Daogong at the corner is the most complex, and its role is also the most significant. The wood construction technology of Chinese ancient architecture is profound and extensive. It embodies the wisdom and philosophy of ancient people in thinking and solving the relationship between humans and nature, as well as the relationship between humans and the environment space. And it is worth us to learn and inherit.